Hello, nice to be here and congratulations everyone on your graduation. I have a series of questions here that I've been asked to give some thought to and to answer. What's the most important skill you want students to gain from your class? Well, for those of you who've been through my GRP class, or actually any of my classes, you may remember the word Kaizen, always trying to improve. So always look at what you know, look at how you do things and think, can you do things in a better way? Now that you're graduating, you've got the tools, you've got the skills to be able to do this by yourself. I hope you'll be able to do so. Some words for this year's graduates. Okay, so to you guys, I hope you've had a good experience here at UNNC. I hope we've done well by you. I hope we've been able to help you grow, help you enjoy your time here. I hope as you go out and move on with your lives that you'll remember us and that you will continue to do the best that you can do for yourselves, for your families, for society. It's a big world out there, you're ready to face it, and I wish you the best of luck.
What do you want students to gain in your classroom? I like my classroom to be a playground of sorts. I want them to be able to explore, experiment. I want my students to try and fail a lot like what they do in a real playground. If you are learning from this and if you are having fun while you are doing that, it's not failure, it's a pathway to success. We heard that you don't have a phone. Why is that? And is it still convenient for you to live in a modern society without a phone? Well, it depends. That's a very easy question for me to answer. I think of myself as a simple man with simple needs. If you don't have too many needs, you don't need too many things. And it turns out a phone is not essential. Now, for the truly critical things that our society simply doesn't allow us to do alone, like getting a taxi, like paying for the bills, thankfully, I have my wife. So I kind of rely on her to do everything that I need, and that means that every time I have to take a taxi, I always go somewhere with, let's say, either my wife or a colleague who actually has a phone. So that has an unintended, but I think great side effect. I think in our society where we tend to be so dependent on technology that we forget about other people, because of my obvious dependency on other people, I think it tends to make me much more social than I might otherwise be. So maybe that's a good thing.
What is your mood when you first stood on the podium and give a lecture? So my mood is I'm very nervous because that was about 25 years ago when I first gave the lecture. I got about 200 students in my class and it is very intimidating. And everybody, all eyes are looking at me and expecting something from me, so it's very, very nervous. Tell us about your own upbringing and how it has influenced your teaching. I asked about, just let me think about it. That everybody should have an equal opportunity, and everybody, the way that they learn is different. So you need to approach them differently so all of them will have an equal opportunity to get the knowledge when they are learning. A word for this year's graduate. Okay. I have a message for all my students. Every year, the same message. This is just a start. Do not stop learning. Learning is forever. Until the last day of your life, everything is about learning. Never stop learning and be humble when you try to seek for knowledge.
What's the most precious gift you've ever received as a teacher? So I don't actually accept any gifts as a teacher, but the best gift a student can give me is passion and effort. Without this, you're going to struggle. So when I see a student really putting a lot of passion in to their work and applying a lot of effort, it really makes me happy, and it's the best gift that I can receive as a teacher. What do you think is your happiest moment as a teacher? So for me, my happiest moment is when I see students push past their limitation and really push themselves to achieve more than what they expected. When they look back and they've seen how much they've grown, this is what really makes me fulfilled as a teacher. Yeah. How do you want your students to feel about you and your class years after they graduate? So I hope they don't think I'm such a strict teacher. I think I've got a reputation of being quite hard on students. But yeah, I hope they look back at my classes and really see how much they took away from the class and really grown through what I taught them and how I taught them. So yeah, I hope they don't look back and think I'm strict. I hope they look back and understand everything I was trying to get them to do actually made sense in the end. A word for this year's graduates, sorry. Going forward, I hope that you take confidence in what you're doing, question everything, be curious, don't feel like you have any limitation because you can do what you want. It's really important to embrace failure and learn from failure, so I encourage everybody to push themselves and try their best and enjoy the challenges that you're going to face. And I hope that we've given you an environment where you can really grow. And that's the key to learning. It's all about growing.
What was your original motivation for choosing a career as a teacher? Oh, that's a good question. So I want to be a teacher because I like to teach, of course, and I want to show and to share my experience on environmental science or environmental policy, because I believe using education is the best way to share the message around the students and also their parents, their family, and also more stakeholders. I think being a teacher actually not just teaching, actually share the message on research and innovative science. Thank you. How do you develop students' critical thinking in your teaching process? Oh, that's a good question. So I always tell students to think, because we all have, our brain is more powerful than AI, and then if you think twice, that is perfect. Sometimes if you face a question, you just try to think twice, and then you can be more critical. And criticality is very important as well, to judge things and then to develop their logic so they can actually face themselves and their life easily. Yeah, thank you. Oh, a word for this year's graduate, that's more meaningful. So I wish all the graduates, no matter it's from our School of Geographical Sciences, from our program of Environmental Science, or all disciplines, we wish you all the best to your career and also have a happy life. Thank you.
Okay, the first question is what knowledge or experience do you find the most useful for graduates who are about to enter society? Okay, I think all the hard skills, all the technical skills we'll teach here will be outdated in a few years, so we don't know what is useful in the future. But I think the soft skills can last longer than hard skills, like the ability to adapt to different environments, ability to work with other people, and the ability to learn new stuff. That's more important than all the modules you have learned here in UNNC. So I think that soft skills can be more useful. So what's the most important thing you want students to learn from you? I'm not a perfect person, I'm not very smart, but I think I'm kind of very hardworking, so my heart in the work. So when I communicate, talk with my students, I like they can also spend time to what they like, no matter what they like, but if they have some goal, I hope they can have persistence and hardworking to make their goal happen. If you could go back to when you're first teaching, what would you say to yourself? Okay, I would say trying to not give too much coursework to the students, trying to don't teach too much. I tend to teach too much when I'm teaching, so I really want to force myself, trying to leave more room and space for my students to develop and learn by themselves.
Was there anything interesting about the lesson? So maybe one funny moment my lessons is when I make mistakes. And I remember one seminar when I started a very detailed answer to one problem, I suddenly realized that the question itself was flawed, and then the answer itself was not valid. And so I tell that to the students. I was a bit shy, but I think that the students were quite amused. What are your hobbies, and do they help you in teaching? My hobbies are endurance running and playing music, and it definitely helped me in teaching. It teaches me patience, discipline, and the spirit of continuous improvement. And that's something I want to bring into my classroom. A word for this year's graduates. So congratulations. Today we celebrate what you have accomplished, but the journey has just begun. So keep learning, keep growing, and embrace the unknown.
A word for this year graduates. Hi graduates. Yeah. Don't live other people's life. Students, pursue your dream. Most importantly, find your passion. That's the most important thing you could learn in universities. And trust in yourself. And all the best for your future. What are your hobbies and hobbies outside of teaching? And do they help you in teaching? My greatest hobby is reading. I'm reading books on philosophies and cultural subjects, and it helps me to refresh my teaching every year. When I teach in a class, I normally do it spontaneously and try to create some jokes with students, and hopefully they can learn it in a very friendly way.
Okay, so let's see what's the first question. Is there a single student growth story that makes your work as an educator particularly meaningful? Okay, let me think. A group of international students. Their studies was online. I could see their struggle, their difficulty over the time, but they really make effort in their study, and they try so hard that they really excel themselves in the end. Some of them I still keep in touch so far, and they've been very successful engineer and scientists, and also researcher around the world. So I'm quite impressed with their effort back then. A few words for this year graduates. Congratulations, class 2025. As you are moving into a new chapter of your life, please remember to embrace the change, keep learning, moving forward, and use your talent to make the positive impact in your future, in your career. I would like to take this opportunity to wish you all a very successful future.
What is your most memorable experience as a teacher? I remember I have organized an activity, and students can share their notes for each chapter and then share it for everyone. And I got very impressed of their clearly and concise and beautiful notes. What are your personal hobbies, and do they help you in teaching? I enjoy photography, travel, and discovering good coffees, and many other things. And these hobbies sharpen my sense and bring fresh inspirations, which help me design more engaging lessons and work with greater clarity and efficiency.
A word for this year's graduates. Congratulations on this achievement. Stay curious, be bold in questioning, and learn all the time. Your expectations are limitless. How do you see the relationship between students' test scores and actual abilities? Well, test scores only assess one element of knowledge, but real abilities such as creativity, problem solving, and the communications are not assessed by test scores, and that is why I encourage my students to try to apply what they learn in actual reality so they can develop these skills.